Listen, we are back with Real Talk with Reese. We are, you are here with me. We're raw, real, and uncut. Y'all know you're gonna get the real deal Holyfield today, right? And every Saturday. Listen, I have a super special guest today. Tiffany will be in the building. Tiffany with the E. She will be here. She'll be coming in about 1:30. So we're gonna start off talking about some things. Our show this week is going to be about things that go on, relationships in our culture with our organizations, with um, how we treat each other within the organizations, how we handle things when there's adversity, when there's amazing things going on, when there's adversity. How do we handle that? Are we really uplifting in these organizations that we start off having you join, pay money for, a lot of times pays, do different things to get you to come in. And then once you're in that organization, is it more of a click or is it something that actually helps you, empower you, and uplift you? That's what we're going to be talking. We have a real story coming up today with Tiffany, and we're going to talk about it. But before we do want to do that, I got to tell you something. Everybody knows about my grief journey, right? And yes, we're going to talk about it, and you're going to keep hearing about it because obviously that's something that God has put into my life. So I'm going to share that with you. And so many people I realize are going through that, whether it's grief from a divorce, if it's grief from losing a loved one, or there's so many forms of grief, right? And so because of that, I have been trying, I'm what, 7 months. I think it just hit, it's not even 7 months yet. On the 6th, on the 6th, it will be 7 months that my handsome son, Jalen, before I could even do that, passed. And so I've been trying to heal and heal and heal and heal. And I'm gonna have in the next month or two, we're gonna start working on the word heal. Because I'm learning about that too. But I don't want to dig deep in that because that's a whole nother show. Um, and so I was talking this morning during my meditation. I was talking to God and the universe, and I'm talking, well, what do you have for me today? And the message that came to me is number one, what do we all want in our life? Excellence, right? We want to feel good. We want to feel excellent. We want to feel like we are the bomb. I mean, I feel like that when I wake up, but I put the work in to do that, right? But that's what we want. We want to be successful. We want to be excellent. And what does that really mean? And I had to think about what is excellence? Is excellence because you have an account full of money? Is excellence because you're driving a fancy car? Can you be excellent in the 1990 Honda versus a 20 what year are we at? 2025 BMW. Can you be excellent like that? And what I realized is excellent is not having the best. Excellent is doing the best of what you have and where you are. That's excellence. Are you doing your best with what you have right now? Are you taking it and are you sitting around going, talking about more about what you don't have versus doing really well with what you do have? I have an example of that. I had an event that I had to do, and I make the most amazing candles in the world. And I'm just now feeling the energy to get back into the groove of things. And I was asked to do an event. And then one of my candles, and I'm thinking, I'm not ready to do that because when I come in, I want to come in abundant. I want to have candles all over the place. I want to have 50 of each, each scent. And then I thought about it. They asked me to bring my candles. How about you just do what you have right now? Because if that was brought into my life, that's part of my journey. And you know what I did? I took what I had, I utilized what I could make right then. I was successful, and the candles sold out, and then had orders. And when by me having taking orders for people to get shipped out to them, that made me increase my customer base. So had I had all the candles there, they probably would have bought them, left, and that was it. But because they had to order, now we have formed a relationship that I can now have your email address. I can continue to work with that customer. So it was about doing the best that I could right then. That's it. That's what we have to understand right now in life. You have to do the best of where you are right now. One of the things that we are doing, and that I realized was talking to my friends, talking to the people that I coach, and family members, is I see so many people handcuffing themselves to their past. You're literally chaining yourself to your past. You're handcuffing yourself to your past because all you're thinking about is where you were and not realizing that things that God is putting into your life right now is getting you ready for where He's getting ready to take you. But He is not going, God gonna come there. Excuse me, come on, I'm ready. I got something glorious right here. I got a pot of gold. I got something good for you. And then when He's pulling you, you're going to be stuck because you have handcuffed yourself to the past. You can't even move. You handcuffed. What you going to do? You're going to miss your opportunity being handcuffed to the past. You're going to miss your opportunity sitting there thinking about the man that you love so much. He's gone. You're divorced. Y'all broke up. You were supposed to learn from that and then get ready for the greatness and the glory and everything that's coming to you. So we got to stop the handcuffing ourselves to our past. That's for me, that's for you, for your mama, your cousin, your grandma. Share that message, okay? Because that's one of the things that that's holding us back. We constantly talk about where we were. There's somebody it drives me crazy every time I talk to someone and all they do is tell me what they had. That's even me. One of the things my mother, shout out to my mommy, Cookie, uh, and she made me very conscious of this. I was looking, I get, Facebook send you all these pictures, and it's a great thing, but it also, those memories could take you somewhere. And I constantly was talking, and she made me realize that on my show, so she pays attention to every word I say on every show. And she said, you gotta stop talking about your weight. Quit talking about it. Let them see you when you get there. Stop talking about it all of the time. And I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm supposed to be like, I remember I never had a stomach. I was always flat. You remember that green dress? I was just in that last week. Why am I talking about that? Look, I'm gonna look good in this black dress. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you about this black dress. I wore this when I was 50 pounds smaller, and you couldn't tell me nothing. And thank God I got it a size kind of too big then, because look what it's doing today, right? I had to make it work for me now. Stop worrying about the past, how you used to look, and make what you looking like right now fabulous. Because this is where you are until you get to where you want to be. We've got to stop talking about what we had or what we did or who we were. Who are you right now? If you don't like that person, work on that person to become the person that you want to be. And you cannot talk about it. You gotta be about it. Take some classes. If you want to be something or do something different, put yourself in that different room. Say you want to become a chef, you love to cook. Then start going to places. They have classes here where chefs teach you how to cook and do classes. Start taking some classes or pull up YouTube and start practicing. Whatever it is that you want to do, you got to start putting yourself in that room. Walk in that room, sit in the audience, and learn. You have to be a sponge so that, guess what that does? It's giving you energy. The energy is attaching itself to you, and your energy is saying, and your subconscious, your conscious is going, oh, she's real about this life because she's embracing it. And that's what you have to do. We have to embody your power. Do you all understand that you have power? You are God. We are part of God. Well, if God is great, then how can you not be great because we're part of Him, right? So you have to embody your power. You got to embody your power, and you got to let that light within you shine. We all have a light. We all have something to give. You have to. I don't care who you are. If you're a janitor, you better be the coldest janitor. You clean it. Don't nobody want to come to a place that's dirty, right? So we need that amazing janitor. Embody that. Be the best janitor that you can be. If you got to get your hair done. Whatever it is that you're doing, embody that and be the best at it. And then if that becomes something that you don't want to do anymore, then follow your inner power. It's inside. How do you move? What do you think about when you wake up in the morning? And then if you're not, when you wake up in the morning, you just kind of empty, then find something to read. We got to start reading books again. We got to make reading exciting. I never thought I would like to read. You know, I have college degrees, so I think after I got my master's, I was sick of school and sick of reading. When I got back into reading, it's been years now. Now I can't wait to read a new book. And you don't have to read the whole book, but I promise you, if you start find a book club, you start reading, you're gonna learn something. Knowledge is the more you learn, the more you grow and expand. Okay? So that's something that we really, really need to do. And then understand that in life, you're gonna have the right people. People think, oh, my life was full of chaos. Guess what? Congratulations to the chaos. Congratulations to the chaos. Because guess what? You're learning something. You're learning what you don't like. How did you move within that chaos? How did you understand how you got into that chaos? How did you move out of the chaos? Right? Did you, when the chaos was going around you, how did you get there? Figure out how you got there, but also embrace it. Don't live in it. It's part of your journey. You think that you're going to sit there and have a perfect life every day and everything's just going to be peachy and everything is going to be great. That's kind of boring, actually. Don't you want something that excites you or something where you're not stagnant and you become better and you grow and you move, you become that amazing person? I want to learn every day. Let me tell you, I think I'm amazing. I think I'm great. I don't want to just be great. I want to be greater. I want to be more amazing. I want to elevate. I want to share this knowledge. I want to learn more so that I can teach you more. But guess what I love to do? You know, one of my favorite things to do is walk in a room where I am not the best person in that room, where I am not the smartest person in that room, where I'm not the most powerful person in that room. Because when I walk in, I want to learn. I want to connect. I want to embrace that there are other people that have already been where I'm at and they went further. That inspires me. Everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. You have to start somewhere. And that's another thing. I tell my sister this all the time. She is one of the most amazing, talented people that I know on this earth. But her problem is she doesn't want to do anything unless it's perfect. And I saw the light. So sometimes it takes me longer. I saw this light in her, and she probably didn't even know it. I was so pumped that we've been doing vision boards every year. She never finishes her vision board. Want to know why? Because her vision board got to be pretty. She want to take it home and put the little glitter on it. Girl, finish your vision board, because part of the vision board process is to share your vision with other people. To stand up with your vision and say, you know, this is what I'm looking at, what I want to go and where I want to go. Because guess what? When you do that in a group of people, in a room full of people, somebody's probably already been where you are and they actually could probably share some tip with you, or you inspire somebody. And this year she finished her vision board and she stood up and shared it, like, and talked about it. And I was like, oh, the light went off, right? It was exciting. So sometimes you have to grow. And guess what? She's open to doing things. You're not going to be perfect. Where do you think you are? This is one thing that a lot of us fail to realize. And I had a good friend of mine, because I was like, oh my gosh, this grief weight, this. And she was like, you look good to me. You look amazing. I didn't think I didn't look amazing, but what you see in yourself, we be our worst critic. It actually inspires somebody else. So you have to share with other people your flaws, your insecurities, because your insecurities, when you discuss them and you share them, all of a sudden it becomes a security. Because you shared it. If you talk about something you're afraid to do and you step out to do something, guess what? You just grew. You're growing, and then you kind of take away the fear of something. I don't believe in fear. I'm a daredevil. I've been like that since I was a kid. It drove my mother crazy. You know, I was a tomboy. I run out and play football with the boys and come there, go jump rope with the girls. Like, I just like challenges sometimes. Um, but I realized, why do you always like that? Because I'm adventurous. And every time I just don't believe in fear. It doesn't exist. Do you guys understand that fear doesn't exist? It's not even real. It's not there. It's just a thought in your head. It's mental. It's mental health, really. Being afraid to do something is really, to me, um, I don't want to say the devil, but it's something. It's a form of holding you back. It's an energy that tells you, don't be afraid, be afraid. Oh no, don't let nothing overpower you in your mind. Never be afraid. Step out, do it. If you didn't do it right, you learn that you did it wrong. So now you can try to do it better the next time, right? So that's something that I just want you to do. Embody your power. What's the word of the day? Embody your power. Say it with me, y'all. Embody your power.
Embody your power.
When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, today, I'm going to embody my power. Where I'm at today is amazing. It feels great. Where do I want to go? And just start stepping into that. That's all you have to do. I want to learn to do better with my, I need to do more like TikToks and do more of my social media and moving into like really being out here, because I'm really like, I'm a vibe. So I need to just embrace that and stop saying, oh, it's not the perfect video. I didn't do that perfectly. Girl, just do it. It's just, y'all see me, y'all see, have me laughing. Did y'all see me a couple of weeks ago rapping on Facebook? It's like, what is she doing? Girl, it was just funny. It's a vibe. Live in the moment. That is how you grow, and that is energy, and that energy comes back to you. So we are going to step away from fear. You're going to embody your power, and you're going to embrace the obstacles. The obstacles is nothing but part of your journey. Everybody can think of somewhere they were and they thought they could not get out of it. And then you got out of it. So if you're in that place right now, get out of it. And so one of the things is right now when we're feeling, oh, this Trump thing, this Trump energy, they're taking away our power. Please stop that. Nobody's taking away your power. They can't take your power. You got to figure out how you're going to move different. That's it. Okay, well, we might not have Medicare. We might not have any of this. Okay, so now we got to get real creative, right? I got some doctor friends in my back pocket. I'm going to have to call them and maybe I can share some of that information. Guess what we did back in the day? We got real creative. We need to dig back and take some pages out of our book when we didn't have nothing and we still accomplished something. And one of the people, person I was talking to yesterday, she was a young girl, and she was like, "Us not going to Target is not going to change anything. It's not going to do anything." Well, guess what happened back in the day when we had the whole uh, Montgomery, Alabama, and we started not getting on the buses and we stopped going to the stores.
Yeah.
It didn't happen that day, right? We stopped. We changed it. They had to change everything. They said, okay, forget segregation, because they realized we'll walk. We won't even use your stuff. No, not going to Target yesterday is not going to stop anything. But if we start getting in a mindset of start utilizing our own, yeah, and maybe and we start doing that this weekend and maybe next weekend, and we're just being conscious of it. Think about what happened. I know in Cincinnati, I talked to a couple people in Cincinnati. They said, I have a couple people that I know that own restaurants. Said they had this weekend and this week they couldn't even handle the orders that were coming in, and it hit me. I said, "Oh my goodness, the negativity is becoming positive in our environment. It's making us conscious and making us grow and start utilizing things that we didn't think about doing before." Now I'm going, oh, yesterday, I'm gonna be honest, I drove around because I had something to do, and I said, oh, we're not supposed to do anything. We're supposed to eat from a black place or do something like that. I was so hungry and I had to drive around. I started thinking, is that black on? Is that black on? Yeah. And let me tell you something. I love all cultures. Everybody. I'm a very diverse person. I love all cultures. But if we're gonna make a difference, you got to start somewhere, and it could just take one person. No, I saw a bunch of us at Target yesterday. I'm just gonna keep it 100, but it was probably a lot less than it would have been, right? Because it's not gonna happen overnight. So things are happening. I want everybody to take the fear out of your life. We are not about to fall apart. The world is not about to end, but we are gonna have to start thinking differently. We're gonna have to start thinking outside of the box, something we need to do anyway. It's just the energy change. Y'all better start. Guess what people are doing now more? Did y'all notice this? A lot of people talking about, oh, I'm about to go to church. We just start praying. There wasn't nobody talking about praying as much as they talking about praying now. So if that's what it takes for us to come together and start getting our energy and changing the way we move and the way we think, that's it. We got a lot going on. It feels a little different right now, but I ain't scared. I ain't never scared. I'm not scared. I'm not worried about Trump gonna make me just a horrible person. Some people love Trump, some people don't. I don't even care. It's not even about him. I'm not about to make my life function about if I'm scared of what Trump gonna do. Guess what? I need to know. What's Reese gonna do? Reese, what you gonna do? How you getting ready to move? What do you need to prepare for? And then I need to tell my kids how to prepare. But we definitely do have some changes going on in the world, but changes may happen since COVID, you guys. If you go back and listen to my shows, I try to tell y'all, I done tried to tell you, like my grandmother said, I done tried to tell you. There was some changes going on. I told you back then, when COVID hit, this is something to start making us not touch each other as much as far as hanging out, to start doing things more online, to kind of take the cash out, start using cards. And people are like, well, they gonna track us. And okay, so they track you. What you doing? What's wrong? You got something to hide? If you do, then find a different way to hide it. That's all I can tell you. But you got to pivot. Life is about pivoting anyway. Look at me. I was sitting there with this engineer for 23 years and this amazing job, 6 figures, and all of a sudden it was gone. And it made me realize I need to tell other people, don't just rely on your job. You've got to start having a cushion somewhere and start creating these other streams of income. So if one of those streams falls apart, you have something else to fall on. Just think differently. Every change is something that is going to inspire something beautiful in your life. I promise you that. I promise. Every change is going to inspire you. You may feel horrible right now, but I promise you, if you're working through that, you're going to feel greater later. And this is for somebody that's really going through it right now, as far as, this grief journey. But I'm not going to allow that to stop me, because I got to help somebody else that really is going to have that same journey, but they may not have. I have a great support system. Everybody doesn't have a great support system. So I want to help you to be your support system. I want you to be able to go to Real Talk with Reese and find something that inspires you. And you can always contact me, DM me, reach out to me any kind of way, and I will get back with you eventually, right? And I will help you. But just understand that anything that's happening is for your greater good. It can't nobody stop your greatness. You are amazing, okay? Did you wake up? Did you wake up this morning? Then you're great. Then you got another chance to be greater, okay? That's what we do. And we're going to talk about that when my Tiffaney with the E gets in here. She has an amazing story, and her story is crazy. She exemplifies it. She is a super major example of why you could be here and then rise up, right? I am totally, what's the song? Concrete, Rose in Harlem. I love that song. Tiana Taylor song, Rose in Harlem, growing from the rose going through the concrete. Man, that's me. That's me. This little rose going through the concrete. This concrete I'm fighting to get through. But I just never give up, man. That's how where a lot of people in Cleveland will say, where'd she come from? I've been in Cleveland 25 years. I was chilling, I was married, I was doing divorce, and then I blossomed into who I really wanted to be. But that was like one of the saddest things in the world, right? It was. Now it's one of the greatest things in my life. It's the best thing. So we've got to get to the point where we embrace who we are, embrace Something, my mother is texting me trying to tell me something. Listen, Ma, the show is going, Mother. I don't know what you're saying, but I'll fix it later because I know you got something to say. She probably said, quit moving your hands because I can see me doing this. But anyway, that's me. I talk with my hands. Um, I just want you guys, if anybody has any questions, I want you to send me a message. I'm going to start doing this, and it's going to start the next show. I think we won't have a show next week. It's the 13th. On the 13th, I want people to write in. We're going to have, or I'm going to have at least 15 to 20, maybe 30 minutes, and I'm going to answer questions. You can write into Real Talk with Reese, and I'm going to literally answer them. Don't ask me nothing you don't want the real answer to, because you know it's Real Talk with Reese. I give it raw and uncut. It's always going to be kept real. And those are those things that, so life's going to send you the right people, the right things, and the right experiences. Do you believe that? Do you believe that the right people are in your life? Sit down and take a minute and think about who's in your life right now. And then think about the experiences that you're going through right now. And if you really sit down and just be still in that moment and you think about who's in your life and where you are, and think about where you were before, you're going to see where your journey is going. A lot of times you don't even realize that you're moving, your journey is taking you somewhere because you haven't taken the time to see the things that are happening. Sometimes you might be like, ooh, wait a minute. I just realized who is in my life, who was in my life, who isn't in my life. Maybe I need to take a breather and step back and understand that I'm not going the right way. I might need to turn a little bit. I might need to turn and go to the left. I might need to turn and go to the right. You've got to take time to be still. Every morning I meditate. Every morning I take time to wake up. First, I'm thankful. You got to be grateful. Gratitude, you guys, is the one of the biggest ways to accomplish things, and one of the biggest things about success in your life is going to be gratitude. If you are not grateful for where you are, do you think that you're going to keep getting the energy to take you somewhere better? You got to be grateful for where you are right now. You have to feel good about where you are right now and then start moving to the right direction. So I feel good. I feel, oh, you know what? I got to tell y'all, I got a good success story. See, I have a success story. My knee doesn't hurt anymore. Y'all, congrats. Clap it up for my knee. Clap it up for this knee. Guess who's going back to Marriage Madness? And I will see Chrissy on Monday. I will be at the gym on Monday at 6 o'clock. And for a minute, I was thinking, like, this knee is never going to heal. But it did, because I told myself, and everybody around me knows, I was like, oh, no, this knee going to have to heal, because if it doesn't, talk to your body parts, okay? Listen up. We got things to do. We got some places to go, and you got to heal. I just started doing things because the doctor kept telling me, it's nothing torn. There's nothing there. I'm like, okay, look, what I'm going to do? I just started thinking better. And I started looking up things, and it was, I can't get surgery because I'm too young, I'm just way too young for a knee replacement. That's what they told me. Said, your knee is real youthful. I was like, for real? My knee young? I was like, okay, well, since I got these young knees, I'm going to have to figure out what's going on. But really, I just didn't give up. I started thinking more positive about it, changing my eating habits, and then I got a cortisone shot. And listen, I feel good. So you got to do what works. You have to see. You can't just sit there and keep complaining about something. My knee been hurt for over a year. It feels good, y'all. I got good knees now. I'm not about to do the good knee challenge or do anything like that. Right? I'm not doing that because I want to keep my knees good. Okay? I want to stay feeling good. But I'm excited that now I get to go back. I think the journey for the reason, one of the things that was going on with my knee, I was obviously needing to sit my behind down. I sat down, now I'm ready to get back up. And right when my knee started feeling better, I'm feeling better mentally too. Internally, I feel better. So I'm back in the gym, so watch out. For Talk with Reese, they'll be in the gym. Who coming with me? I want y'all to come. Shout out to Mac Madness. I hope you're feeling better. He had to have a little surgery. He's been out. I've been praying for him, and he'll be back. So I'll be in the gym when I'm ready for you. Speaking of being ready, I'm ready to drop the T. We got somebody in here. We got Tiffany with the E in the building. Big boss, big boss. I've learned coming out of it. I said, like a rose in concrete, going through the concrete, right? I kind of feel that with you. Do you feel that?
That's a good analogy.
I think that's a
that.
good analogy.
I like that.
So Tiffany, listen, tell the real talk with Reese audience who you are and who is Tiffany and what we talking about today. First of all, let's
Oh,
just.
you must know I need this. It was a day, y'all. It was a day.
But I'm glad you made it. You right?
Thank you.
All right, let's go. We need to take a little sip before we get into the tea.
Oh, so my name is Tiffaney Holland, and I am a nurse. Just got off work. It's never a dull moment. And I also own a mobile cigar lounge. And I was a previous owner of a clinic called Calisac, but I've since rebranded, and it's called Second Chance Signatures, where I'm kind of like starting back up my CPR and my ACLS and doing like, little TB tests and things of that nature, along with my title sign notary. So I'm calling it Second Chance because, yes. And somebody was like, that doesn't match. I said, it's gonna match. Like, the two different things together. People will get used to it like they get used to anything else. So that is what I've been doing as of late. So,
Okay, so you're notary,
I'm a
but you have done some work for me and Deidre with our business.
I have. I appreciate
You have been having sent for us because we had a lot of things that we had to have
They
notarized.
did.
Yes.
I was like, I never do. Oh, write my name.
Yes. And then you have a mobile cigar lounge, Smoking Wheels.
Yes. Okay.
Who love yourself candles, shameless plug, will be on every time you get on the mobile lounge. You will have the amazing aroma.
Oh my God, I used to
Yes, so strong.
I
I love Tip because she talked about my candles like this.
do.
Like,
It's amazing
My
candles.
bonus daughter, she's pregnant, y'all.
They try to say it.
So, and I gave her this like as a little care package
mhm.
with some tea. I said, "With some tea and like these candles, girl."
You are so. And then you're a nurse.
I am
You've been a nurse for how many years?
15.
15 years. And then you started your own business. So you teach people CPR, first aid, and
I'm a nursing assistant.
nursing assistant. Okay.
Mm.
Okay. I was thinking, I think I want to, in my next girls' outing, I want to do something different and like have everybody learn CPR.
Oh,
I think that would be great. I think it's good for everybody to kind of.
everybody should know.
You should know CPR.
CPR saves lives.
Yeah, nurse's life.
Yes.
Okay. But you're not here to talk about CPR today.
Well,
What you here to talk about, Tim?
so, what questions you have?
Well, the first question is, you were part of an organization, correct?
Iowa Finlander. I was part of it, yes.
You were. What was it called?
Iowa Finlanders.
Okay, and that organization is a group, a business,
It's a black business sorority.
black business group, and it was the talk of the town for a little while here.
It was.
It was, and I'm like, this is my friend Tiffany, and they not saying none of some nice things about you that I thought was extremely uncharacteristic. But I also just thought that I would call you, and I thought I would call you and ask you what was going on. So, can you talk about
Well,
this organization? What was it about? Why did you join this organization? Start there.
first of all, I'll answer that. But I want to personally thank you again for reaching out to me because I could count on one hand and still have fingers left of how many people really called and said, "Are you okay with going?" Without even really wanting to know, like the tea, so to speak. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And but the sorority is like I said, it's a business sorority, and I initially joined because I thought it would aid me in my business, in my business at the time. It was Calisac, so you know that's why.
Aid you and assisting you to grow your business and just learn more about being an entrepreneur?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was supporting, isn't it? I tell anybody, any day. Nobody has to tell my story. I'll tell my own story. I think it's better when you put your own narrative out there instead of letting other people, you know, leave your narrative out. But for a while, I wasn't talking about it because, I was trying to stay out of jail.
Trying to stay out of jail. Wow. So I always say nobody is perfect. But what I love about you, and we get ready, I know y'all like, what are y'all talking about? We get ready to tell you. Um, what I loved about you is that when I called you and said, Tiff, they are saying some really negative things about you.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking she is a business owner. She, first of all, you are this cancer survivor who I looked at and I watched you go through that and like really just like fight through and come out so beautifully. Like you went through that. That was a big triumph for you to overcome cancer. And then after you overcame cancer, you just started opening up businesses. You started doing all these amazing things and just were a really inspiration for our community. Anybody that knew you were kind of like, wow, she's amazing.
Mhm.
So when I heard that there was something that you were doing that was possibly to get you jail time, I said, not the Tiffany that I know. So I called you, and the first thing you said is, I mean, there's something wrong, but I don't think that it. Let me tell you my story, my side of it. And when I heard it, I was very disappointed by how uh, you were treated through that. So, and I don't want to, I got something to say, but I don't want to talk about it till you tell what actually happened that could have caused you to go to jail. But you didn't go to jail, but could have caused you to go to jail.
I took money that didn't belong to me. That's the short end of it. I used a card on some personal things, and the two, three members of the chapter at the time saw it, and they prosecuted.
And at the time, you took it because you were going through something, or you just took it because you wanted to go have fun.
At the end of the day, there's no excuse.
Right.
But I was, I at this.
And the amount, if you don't mind asking.
Well, the true amount was $1,400.
Okay.
That was a true amount, but they trumped the charges, so to speak. You know, um, I had some. Well, let me start from the beginning. I had bought a condo, um, and the person that I had got this condo from, they tried to take it back after basically I paid it. They said, "Oh, you owe all these, you know, you have holes in your payments." And I'm like, show me. Then it was like taxes. So I'm literally, she sends me this invoice and I'm literally going through like bank statements, trying to, add up these payments because I know whatever you're talking about couldn't be that much. Because what happened was I, was trying to get the free and clear deed or title for it. So that came up. Then I'm running a business, and my business at the time still wasn't making enough money where I didn't have to pay out of pocket.
Okay.
Like I had a nurse practitioner, I had a physician. Like I was really in compass of breaking through. And it just all basically came down at once. And, it was never quote unquote my intent to steal anything. Because I mean, even if it was, like, how was I ever gonna get away with that with two people? You know what I'm saying? That, can look at this or whatever. But nevertheless, it was their choice to do that, and they're obviously all well and with their rights. But it's like, wow, I was just on the phone with you for 2 hours yesterday talking about your personal escapades and things of that, and then the next day it's like, I'm not nothing. Like, like, this is how we want to do this.
Because you could have just put the money back in the 1,400 back, which was your intention, or
Correct.
okay, and then you did not have to be prosecuted, or what? Explain to me how the prosecution came. What happened?
I don't know. To be honest, I received a letter from the organization stating how much it was, and I think they said something around like $5,000. I'm like, where y'all getting this math from? But so they gave me a date to pay it back, or it would go further.
Okay.
The date was kind of like 30 days out, you know. And then 2 days later, I get a phone call from a police officer saying that a police report was filed.
Mm. And these were your sisters
Yes.
that you guys were in this organization to uplift and help each other, correct?
Mhm.
Okay.
And
So what does that mean to you?
at the end of the day, I felt like it was a witch hunt because it didn't go anywhere with that police department. And short end of the story, they went to, like, I don't know, I think it was six
6 police.
jurisdictions
Wow.
at the end of the day before they finally got somebody to prosecute me. Now, keep in mind though, they got the extra money because people had given me money for to join
Mhm.
that I hadn't turned over yet, and I hadn't turned over this money because we weren't it wasn't business time. If that makes sense. Like, we weren't doing any business at the time, but the chapter was so stressed for members. We collectively, and everybody knew that I had the money.
Mhm.
Like, I didn't make any bones about it because they got sent out applications saying we received your money, so you knew I had the money. But now you want to say that I took the money, even though we didn't do any banking,
Mhm.
hadn't done any banking. Then they never considered, like, the receipts that I actually did spend on the sororities. So they took all of that and said, "This is how much you took."
Okay. So you did do it.
Yes.
You did it. So what was your issue? So if you did it and they prosecuted, what was the issue?
Yeah.
What was my what? I'm sorry.
What was the issue? Because you did take the money. Was it? Can I say what my issue was?
Okay.
Then we gonna get back. I would tell you what my issue. This is me personally. I don't have anything to do with this organization. I don't know anything about this organization. All I know is that I was just surprised that it was posted on Facebook.
Mhm.
I think that was my whole problem. It was posted on Facebook, and it was talking about your character. This is business. I personally thought that that was unprofessional. Me personally. That's just my take on it. If I'm involved with something where we want to uplift or help people, that's a private matter within the organization.
It should have.
The way it went on Facebook became to me a personal attack. Not because I know you ain't my friend. It would have been like that for me to for anyone. It wasn't saying, "Oh, let's warn you," because you hadn't did anything outside of that. Nobody could say you had no previous records, no criminal record. You didn't have a bad reputation of doing this thing. My only issue, because when you said you did it, I was like, "Oh wow, that's it."
Yeah.
But I also was like, wow, I love the fact that you took account. I'm all about accountability. The fact that you were accountable. I was more upset to see other women, my personal opinion, go out of their way to try to tear someone else down instead of saying, first of all, we shouldn't have knew about it, but also instead of trying to maybe find out what the root cause is and help you, or maybe just kick you out the organization and leave it alone. But to go out and tear someone personally down, when you know, I thought you were friends with these people. I don't care, my friends, this is me. This is me. My friends can do some dog dirty stuff to me. Everybody knows I had a situation with a comedian that I was working with. I have never said one nasty thing. I didn't rebuttal.
No.
I rise above. It is no reason. I don't want to tear anyone down. I let you look at me, see who I am, and you can judge from that. And we move on, right? And so I never, it always disheartens me when I see people intentionally try to tear someone down, because I'm all about what really was happening and how can we help that person be a better person when I know the core of that person is a good person. That's just me. That's just me. Now, if you was out here robbing, stealing, and killing, I'll be like, hey, be careful because you might get, hurt. That's different. But to intentionally try to tear someone down, it was my only issue. You did it. You had to be held accountable and you never denied it. My problem is, why would we go and tear someone down and in a group where this is supposed to be a place where we're supposed to be uplifting you? That's my problem. How do we uplift and grow within and how do we deal with adversity within organizations? Because you don't hear that. There's a lot of stuff that go on in other organizations, and trust and believe nobody's organization is perfect. But are you seeing them drag? Why? Why? It felt very personal. That was my
Well,
only
that's what
issue.
I was gonna say. It was very personal. Now, for what reason? Even my attorney said, he was like, "Did you sleep with somebody's husband?" Like, I just don't understand. Like, he was like, "These women are really coming for you." And then, not only did it stop there, they called the board of nursing on me. They called.
They had nothing to do with it.
I had some very lucrative deals on the table that was shared because we're in a business sorority, and that's what you're supposed to do. They called those ventures, those deals never went through. Like, they really was coming from me, and I mean, if you don't care for somebody, that's one thing. But I never did anything to anyone personally to have warranted everything that went on. And by no stretch of the imagination am I trying to justify my actions. But when it comes to like, and that's my thing, when it comes to like sisterhood, that's why I hate the word sis. I hate
Yeah,
that.
you don't like the word.
I do not. Anybody
And I love the word sisterhood. I
Everybody
do.
like,
I want to make that a positive
No.
thing for you.
No, I'm not your sister until you prove differently.
Yeah.
Because these are very people who, and then too, it's different. I must not be that popular because it just depends on who's doing what and what kind of grace they're allowed. And that is one thing that I
That's
wasn't.
That's deep. You
given.
should say that.
I
Yeah.
wasn't given grace. And I even said to them, the people that was involved at the time, I said, let's have a conversation. Let's put these numbers together. And I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. I was been friends with one of the people for like 40 years. And though I don't know that they did anything per se to aid towards my demise, but when you don't say, even if you don't want to get involved in something, you know, it's such like you just like, I don't need to know. I chose to tell you what was going on.
Right. I say
Yeah, you just said, I just want to know, are you okay?
that's all I said.
Nobody asked me was I okay.
Wow.
Nobody
Wow.
from that
That's terrible.
group.
And one of the reasons I'm just it's real talk with Reese, right? I'm just a person that knows nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. Um, I think every last person sitting in this room
Yeah,
has probably done something that they probably wish they didn't do.
yeah, absolutely.
Whether you were 12 years old, 20 years old,
50 years old.
we all made a mistake. I think everybody should be given grace. Now, if you keep repeating it, that's totally different.
That's a totally
That's different.
different.
But I just, you gave the quote. Do you remember this quote? Because Matt, Tiff, I've been wanting to ask you about that. You remember the quote you told me about you, don't judge somebody because you don't know what they did to.
Oh, I said you can't judge people about, because people judge people off of what they did and not what choices they had.
Right.
The choices that they had at the
That's
time
deep.
they did the incident. That was so
That's deep.
powerful. Do you ever
That's
think
deep.
about that?
That's deep.
What choices did they have at the time that they made that bad decision? You never know the choices that somebody has to make in the midst of a storm. That I believe that at our age we should do make better choices and learn from it. But also, you never know why somebody. That's what the first thing I said. Are you okay? And then when you explained to me, I kind of understood why you did it, but I knew you was gonna slide that 1400 back in. Unfortunately, you didn't do it fast enough, and there was a lesson learned.
Though, I mean, it's not the truth. When I came with it, when I was approached with it, we went to the bank the next day, and I put that money.
Right back.
Wow.
Shut up.
Wow.
Shut up. Oh. So
Wow.
you put the money right back, and they still went the
because
6 different places to prosecute you and put it on Facebook.
Wow. Wow.
And it's really
I mean, I'm not
the
judging them.
poor
That's
people
what they
that
do.
the core people that really got the ball rolling in it are now deceased. There was two of them. They are now both deceased. So I really don't.
What?
Yeah,
The two people.
the two people that got the ball rolling in it are now deceased.
Oh, rest in peace.
Wow.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I was sorry to hear that as well. But so I really don't want to, because
This
that's
was recent. So this is recent.
Mhm.
Because this was happened in the last, what, 2 years?
It happened in 21.
Oh, 21.
Mhm. Um, I believe one passed away in 22 and the other one passed away in 24, I think. Because by this time I was so, far removed from what was, going on. But, they were still invitations about, sticking it to me.
Okay, so now we know that happened.
So I say that I brought up the desk because I really don't want people to be well, she speak up, because they're not here to speak up to the side of the story or the reason why. I'm only saying from my perspective what I went through,
So this is what I want to talk about. So you went through this, you lost faith in sisterhood, and then at one point you were really down, right? How did you keep going and then rebuild to the place where you are really successful right now? It did not make you fall apart. Most people would have fell apart. This was a public thing. People were calling me, DMing me, girl, yo, girl. I mean, it was a big deal where most people would have hid. You didn't have one time. Matter of fact, I walked into the lounge one day. You was sitting right there. I walked right up because I'm one of the, if you my friend, you my friend. I will tell you when you're wrong. Everybody knows that, right?
Mhm.
I'll tell you when I'm wrong, but I'll tell you when you're wrong. But I'm still gonna support you if I feel like Corey, you is the person. So I came over there, I sat with you, and I was like, look at Tiff. She's sitting here like, I'm still standing, I'm still here. How did you have the courage, and then how did you rebuild?
I just got out of my way to say that it didn't bother me. Well, first of all, I was just thinking about their goals, and their goal was to destroy me. I remember going to court one time, and so when you go to court, like I'm always there, but I never went in the court. So um, my attorney had went in the courtroom, and it was three of them there. It was all geared up. He said they all in they, paraphernalia, like they doing it. And they said, he said they're sitting in the back of the courtroom, like, yeah, we're gonna get her kicked out. Gonna call the board of nursing. We're gonna get her kicked out of another organization that I am. Like, Venom, and I believe that's the day he asked me that question. Like, what did you do to them? Like, because he was like, at the end of the day, he was like, you didn't even do anything to them personally. Like,
You couldn't even get a felony charge. You couldn't even go to jail. It was so.
well, if anything in the state of Ohio over $1,000 is a felony, so it was a felony charge.
So how did you get it? Yours dropped it just because you had a good lawyer.
Um, Part of that, I had to jump through a couple of hoops.
And got it.
And absolutely, Jehovah was on my side. I had to do a little community service, which actually turned out to be a very good thing that I still do.
About that.
That I still do. So that, you know, I went to Seeds of Learning, where you help adults achieve their GED and learn how to read. And that was very fulfilling for me. Like, I love that.
And you still do that to this day?
I still do it. Like, I took the classes to be a permanent volunteer.
Wow. See, that's what I'm saying. It's always the right experience, the right thing, the right people. That's life sending you these things.
So, I mean, I would be remiss. Like, if y'all knew the things that I had to go through to get through nursing school. So that was my biggest thing. Like, I wouldn't even care if I had to go to jail, which I was never going to jail. That was their goal. I was never going to jail. I'm not a criminal. Like, nobody would have sent me to jail over this. Now, felony record, yeah, maybe, but I was really afraid of losing my career. And the crazy part about it is these are the same people who will say they left Tiki told her, what should I do? Do you have this or that at work that you can bring me? So it's like, what's your definition of stealing? Which one is right? Which one is wrong? It's okay for me to bring you something from my job, but you want to put me at the stake for this, something that could have been, like you said earlier, rectified between the two of us, and don't be bothered with it if that's how you feel.
So what would your motivation to keep going with?
Because I know who I am.
Okay.
I know who I am as a person. It was a rash mistake I shouldn't have done, but I learned from it. And I think, like you mentioned earlier, I am almost 10 years a breast cancer survivor. And if cancer didn't kill me, nobody else can.
I know that's right.
Take it. So it's like, get yourself together. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. They did what they did. They had their reasons. And okay, but I'm not going to roll over and. Yeah, I'm not. I'm still here.
Absolutely.
Still here.
Still staying.
And I learned a valuable lesson. So if any of them are listening, thank you. I did learn a very valuable lesson about a few things. First of all, if you need help, ask. Mm-hmm. And I questioned that myself. Mm-hmm. Like, what about these individuals that I was dealing with that I didn't feel comfortable enough to go to them and say I need some help?
Pride.
Well, that and a couple other things, probably not.
Well, I would be honest, because me going through losing my job and then having to utilize a lot of my savings to take care of my son's service that I was not expecting to happen. I I had to learn to humble myself because I wasn't asking. It's hard for me to ask anybody for $1.
Yeah.
Like my sister tell you, she's sitting right over there. She gets mad at me because I'll tell her story afterward. Like I got through because I almost lost the house, but I'm good. She like, you never had to do that because I would have just gave you the money. Like, but I will not ask because I'll just that pride in me. Like I'll figure it out. Some of it is pride, and some of it is I'll figure it out. When you could just sometimes ask, humble yourself. I had to really. I've been humbled in the last couple of years, major.
Mhm.
Um, so I can relate to that. And you will put yourself, there's a lesson here, you guys. You can put yourself into a situation if because of your pride and not being humble, when you could just probably ask. You'll never know unless you just ask
That's
for help.
absolutely the truth.
Say it here.
That's absolutely the truth. Yeah. So, those are the lessons that I learned. And I'm better for it, you know. And it also freed me of people that really wasn't supposed to be in my life in the first place.
That was one of the biggest parts. That's one of the you were supposed to be shown these people. How long would it have taken had you not had that happen? Anybody that would go out of their way to tear you down. You were wrong, you did that. I do not want to say she is a victim. What I think you were a victim of, it wasn't a victim of having to go to court and all that things because you had to learn. But I think what the part that I feel like you were a victim of was having loyalty and believing that you were a part of something that these people have, that you'll have it back because you wouldn't have done the same thing
No.
to anyone.
I know that for a fact. I've been in that situation. I have been in this situation because, as I said, I'm in another organization. And because I'm still in that organization, I won't say, but if you know, you know.
Yeah, one of the
So-
biggest one of
So
our organizations.
I had someone use my social security number
Mhm.
to purchase something. I brought them up on charges within the organization because what they purchased was for the organization, I guess. I could have definitely prosecuted her criminally.
Right, but you did it within the organization and you didn't take it outside of the organization.
No.
But you didn't want to hurt her life. You just wanted her to be held accountable.
Be held accountable. I think she was suspended for like 6 months behind that. And I was over it. I was over it, you know.
And that organization is way bigger than the one you're a part of.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the biggest one in our culture.
During this time, I've talked to some of the people that I know in bigger organizations like the D9 and, few things of that nature. And they said that even the general body wouldn't have known what was going on. It would have been just, between the executive board, I guess, and I think that's, like you said, that was the most disheartening thing. Like, where is the loyalty? Where is the integrity? You want to talk to me about integrity, but you're not doing it either. You're putting
through the proper channels.
Yeah, you're putting business out there, and it's just like too much, too messy.
Okay, so you got through that. And I wanted to point that out in one of the reasons why when you said you want to tell your story, I have a couple of people who have asked me to tell some stories that I thought, yeah, nope, not getting involved in that, can't come on Real Talk with Reese because it's messy. The reason why I wanted to share your story is because I feel like when you join, and I think when we join these major organizations, if the basis of the values and the principles of the organization is to create sisterhood, um, brotherhood, and to help one another grow, then we should, within that organization, hold people accountable and then find a way to teach them to become better. Maybe we don't know anybody's background. You don't know how somebody was raised, what they learned, what they've been through. I like to, unless if this is somebody's first offense, see where the root cause of it is, and then help you grow and become better. and then maybe utilize you in that organization to tell your story to prevent other people from doing that. And I think that we need to do that as a whole in our culture, outside of our culture, in life. I could get mad at you and be mad at you about something that you did to me. But if I tell you and then you really embrace it and understand why I feel this way, and I see that you learn from it, we can just move on. I mean, because when you hold anger and just keep all that inside with negative energy, you're only hurting yourself.
You do, and that's not what they were already trying to hurt me. I'm not gonna punish myself when you say, oh, like I didn't hide, I still went out, and that's not bragging or boasting. It's just that, okay.
And you always
it
be
is-
extra cute when you're out. Like for real.
Not today.
Tiffany, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Let's be real talking because I was very surprised when you walked through the door. But I know you just got off of work. But you talking about a fashionista, y'all better check her Rolodex, okay? And just you can't. Did y'all see her on Valentine's Day? She came to my event. That red jumpsuit. Ooh, you was beautiful. You carry yourself so classy and so beautiful. Let's end this show with something positive. I think you got your story out. I think we made some very good points. And that is, again, we want to make this very clear. This is her story. This is her opinion. And whatever the other parties did, that's you. I'm not about to judge you on what you did. I'm giving the viewpoint of how I would handle things and would like us as a whole to try to do, because I believe in rehabilitation. I believe in uplifting. I believe in trying to change something negative into a positive. I believe that we all need that because I see so many people that didn't even have. I'm blessed. I'm blessed to honestly come from have a super awesome mother who put so many values and instills so many things. So my grandparents on both sides, like but I know so many people who don't have that, and I can recognize somebody. So sometimes people really don't understand things, and you got to help them grow and teach them. Not just from your situation. I'm not saying that has anything to do with your background. What I'm saying is, as a whole, don't be quick to judge because you never know when you had that moment or something might happen as you put yourself in that situation.
I tell people all the time, keep living.
Keep living,
You
baby.
don't know what situation. If you asked me that a year prior, that I would do something like that or whatever, I would have been like, no. But keep living. You don't ever know what you want to go through or what you will have to do or do.
So tell me what's going on. What is Tiffany doing now? What are you working on? What projects are you working on? I know you have a big cancer walk coming up. It's October.
It's the
right?
first one. I've done several for organizations,
Yes.
but this is the first one on my own
Okay.
that I'm doing, and I'm collaborating with you.
Yes.
I'm
Love Yourself is a sponsor.
I'm collaborating with Pete Halos and the walk. Excuse me. The walk.
Okay.
The walk is October the 4th
October.
at 10 o'clock. Leaving from Black Shield on 131st. And it's a 2-mile walk, and it is like a walk lunch party. Like I'm
That's
so
awesome.
super
Yes.
excited about that. So that's one of my projects. The other is, fine tuning our mobile bus to get it out and on the road this summer.
Yeah, you have an opportunity to go to Cincinnati and do an event.
I do.
Yes, that's
That just came
my
out.
hometown, Nasty Natty.
Yes, I'm super excited about that to
Yeah.
be able to,
And are you back into offering CPR classes?
Oh yes, I've been doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, my one of my employees or employers just asked me yesterday. He was like, "Can you teach a class like for us for the facility?"
Wow,
So
that's big.
that is my third facility that I have that I do on a regular basis. So I'm okay. I'm okay.
Well, congratulations on overcoming your obstacle
Thank you.
And
Thank you for letting me tell my story. You know, I felt like it was important because, like as you said, it was a lot of talk out there. It was a lot of talk, and it's like, ooh, it's talking about me like that. And so I just wanted to clear smoke,
all right,
and you know, I
awesome.
appreciate the platform.
I definitely want to give a shout out to a couple people that popped into the Real Talk Reese studio today. And I would like to say thank you to the JoJo's Cafe in the building. Y'all talking about some good eating, some good eating. Maybe that might be a little something you guys can get together on for the food. I don't know. You know, I like to connect people. I don't know if you already have somebody doing that for
No,
you.
I am looking for a vendor.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, you talking about, I mean, her food is, you already have her. If you've been to anything, you've been to a lot of my events. I'm sure she's the only chef that does my events. I don't use anybody else. Shout out to She's Obsessed with Bling. And y'all, guess what? Guess what? She's Obsessed with Bling. We're upgrading. You know, we're in the middle of redoing and revamping the set. She is my set designer. You guys should see my new Real Talk with Reese sign is coming, and the set is increasing. And she's got all these amazing things for me, and I can't wait because I can't wait for y'all to see mine, what I'll be drinking out of. But speaking of that, Love on Purpose. Shout out to Bonnie. Shout out to Bonnie. This is hers already. It's called Love on Purpose. She donated these glasses. She actually gave this to me for my
Yeah, the
birthday.
coaster.
And the coasters as well. And she's all about love on purpose, and I believe that. So thank you to her. One of the dopest videographers in the world, and that's all you need to know. And also Black Swan for being in the building. One of the super awesome poets. You will be seeing more from her. We have some really, really great events coming up. So be on the lookout. Somebody talking about doing a mini series, but I ain't gonna keep talking. We not gonna talk about that. And let me tell you something. Love Yourself Productions
Absolutely.
is getting ready to take over.
Yeah.
We're already taking over. It's happening.
Reality.
But just know that anything that I touch, anything that I do, it is for the betterment of myself, for my team, for the world. I believe that I was put on this earth to make a change. And I'm going to live in my purpose. And my purpose is to tell everyone and teach everyone that if you first love yourself from within, that you cannot be stopped. Love yourself, understand that you need to know what your purpose is, because once you understand your purpose and you live in it, you cannot be stopped. One of the reasons why you guys are maybe having so many issues in life because you're not living your purpose. So living your purpose, love yourself, catch these vibes, and tune in to Real Talk with Reese. Saturdays at 1 p.m. We'll be back October the 13th. No, not October. It will be March the 13th. I'm thinking about this October walk. Right. Getting ready for this 2-pound cancer walk. And again, we'll talk more. We definitely are doing some major things together.
Yes, we are.
We're partnering on some things. So look out for Smoking Wheels.
Yes.
Look out for Tiffaney with the E. And love yourself. Peace. Love you.
I don't know. Are you done? March 15th.